Look at her face.
Hi there, Gothamites. Welcome to another episode of the Arkham Sessions. My name is Brian Ward. Joining me, as always, is the psychologist to the superheroes, superheroines, and supervillains of Gotham City and beyond. She's Dr. Drea Letamendi. Hello, Drea.
Hi, Brian. How are you?
Great. I get to sit down and watch another episode of Gargoyles.
What are you learning from the community?
I mean, you want me to look at the whole list that I'm seeing here?
I'm just noting that a lot of the folks that we're interacting with are teaching us quite a bit about the lore of Gargoyles.
That is absolutely right. In fact, I was not prepared to do this right off the bat, but let me see if I can find Musard actually gave us several fun notes. One of them being about Matt, who you really like and I super don't trust. He's voiced by Tom Wilson, a.k.a. Biff Tannen from Back to the Future.
Stop.
Yeah, and by all accounts, Tom Wilson is a fantastic person. So it's nice to know that he had this gig on Gargoyles, and now I'm going to have to listen for it. I'm sure once I hear it, I'm not going to be able to unhear it. But Musard actually says something else that I find to be really interesting, and I would love to hear your take on it. Says Goliath is definitely taking things so much more personally than the others. Goliath feels like he's in such a more complicated place than the others. He's the leader, so he has so much more responsibility for his people, and that adds extra pressure. The Demona situation alone hits him in a unique way as her former romantic partner, much less the struggles he's dealing with given his particular temperament. I imagine being the only one to fall in between the youthful Brooklyn, Broadway, and Lexington and the older Hudson in terms of age also might be a tad isolating. That's not something that I've put too much thought into in the past, but it might be worth consideration. Another listener elsewhere commented that apparently Goliath is technically sort of in the same hatchling generation as the other young ones. So he would be considered sort of an older brother to the others, whereas Hudson would be considered an elder, almost parental unit to the others. So generationally, that does put Goliath in a really unique situation, right?
So he's like a millennial, is what people are saying.
I don't know what that means. Maybe. I think that puts me in the Hudson range because I have no idea the reference.
No, I just mean like in kind of the middle of the generations, not quite, relating to the kind of like
he's not one of the young ones, but he's not the old one either.
Yeah, and look, I don't know what I meant by that as far as anything that deep, because obviously there's a lot of variability within generations. But this commenter is right that there's such difficulty with Goliath and his adjustment, that he's holding on to the past. He's having difficulty with feeling at home in their new home. He's very resistant to change. He's very rigid, and he holds a lot of resentment and anger. And it's unclear, I'll be honest, I thought I knew where that was coming from, and it still remains unclear why the level of resistance and resentment and almost a sense of entitlement, I want to say, around the people that he's interacting with.
Yeah, it is 1,000 years since the betrayal, but at the same time, it's so fresh to him because they were asleep for 1,000 years.
Right. That's a good point,
so
actually.
He woke up and he still hates humans because they betrayed him.
Right.
But these are new humans, many of whom have the same problems. So he must recognize that. I can understand his lack of desire to move forward. What I don't necessarily understand, no, I guess maybe I understand it. I don't love it for him. I want him to, I realize this is a very bad thing to say, but I want him to get over it. Like I want him to push through what he needs to. And obviously 11 episodes isn't going to cut it. But at some point, I would like to trust my leader. And right now I question several of his decisions, and that's not something I want out of a leader.
Fair enough.
All right. The next episode that we're moving into, episode 11. And again, let me just add that there are 13 episodes in this season. So we are coming up. The next episode is going to be our penultimate episode of the season. So this is really where I think things are going to start really hitting, right? Because they're going to want kids to come back for the season 2. So these 3 episodes, I'm presuming, are going to be pretty fantastic. Not to say that the others weren't, but you know what I'm saying. This one is called Long Way to Morning. And it is spelled Morning, but I do wonder if that is in some way has a double meaning, is a double entendre. Long way to morning. It could also simply mean that they're in stone and can't wake up. Maybe nighttime has come and they are still stone. Maybe there's another magical spell.
Oh gosh.
From
last thing we need.
Magus's grimoire that we're not aware of. There are all kinds of things that long way to morning, I suppose, could mean. What do you think?
I think all those things are possible, except the spell. We're done with spells.
You think we're done with spells?
Hashtag too many spells.
They did go and specifically when moving to their new location, get the grimoire. Like they went and they haven't just forgotten that this book exists. So I imagine that we will deal with it in some way in the future, whether it's this episode or not, I don't know. But are you ready to dive in to episode 11?
I'm absolutely ready.
Awesome. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us out. We are not a monetized channel, so just getting us out there to the public always helps. And just clicking one of those buttons or leaving us a comment, letting us know what you think of this episode or any of our episodes. Let us know what we got right, what we got wrong. It all helps our algorithm, and we're very happy to have you in on the conversation. Love it.
Oh, good. I was just thinking, let's get a flashback.
Mm-hmm.
But Father, I want to stay up for the feast. I'll miss the troubadours and the jugglers.
I don't know what part of Scotland she's from.
Your Highness, we must speak.
Look at her face. She's still scared.
She's still freaked out. Yeah. Well, this is the same princess that was super freaked out by the gargoyles in the first episode.
This, I take it, is about the Archmage.
I'm not sure banishment was enough to end his threat.
Let him dare to return, and I will...
You will die, pompous fool.
Oh. Gandalf?
I'm not so easily disposed of, Prince Malcolm.
What do you want, sorcerer?
Why, revenge, of course.
I want you to get a better Scottish accent.
I don't know why that's funny.
I mean, you just hop down.
Bye. Now, we've never met that mage. We've met other mages. Correct.
Get away from me. Leave him alone.
We knew the Magus, who I'm presuming took over for the Archmage once he was banished. And presumably defeated in this episode. How do you feel about going back in time now? Oh, never mind. We're back. I thought this was going to be a big revealing episode about
I thought so too.
What happened in 984, but
Are all those little scraps like their cells? Like,
it's got to be something along those lines.
I know it's magical, but it's like part of their body.
I mean, it kind of is their body, right? It has to be. They
like
have
a
to be
layer of
solid
their body.
stone because when we saw them, when we saw their allies destroyed before, they were full
crumpled.
chunks
Yeah.
of stone. So
Yeah.
they become stone throughout.
This woman, just going to leave that there.
Also, her design has changed. Now she's looking a little more normal.
Demona, freeze!
That'll do it.
You've just been poisoned. In 24 hours, you'll be dead.
Oh,
Tell Goliath I'll be at the Old York Opera House in the village. Ciao.
Bye.
bye.
She's got to move. At this point, too many people know where she lives.
Good thing she put her badge inside her jacket.
You don't have to go. You know it's a trap.
If he doesn't go now, Demona will know her plan failed.
Yeah, we got to make this seem like
We can't lock Demona up here, and I will not even discuss the alternative.
what is the
What?
alternative? There are plenty of alternatives.
Maybe
I think what he means is killing her.
At least I have to try.
He doesn't want to
I'll go
discuss
with
that.
you. I've got a few things to settle with her.
No, you stay here with Bronx and guard the tower.
Why does everyone look a little weird?
Yeah, the animation is like everything. Some characters are off model, and in some cases, the posing is weird.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Perhaps you should have brought the others.
No, Brooklyn is still too angry at Demona. I need someone I can rely on.
Matt.
Hear that little like leopard sound effect?
No!
Wow.
Come on.
Why did you just stand there and take it?
I don't know. That was weird.
Well done, old soldier. But you're only prolonging the inevitable.
It's not that long to sunrise when we'll all change. And tomorrow night when Goliath awakens healed, he'll make short work of you.
You won't make it to sunrise. I'm sorry it had to end this way.
This seems like such a convoluted plan. Why did you have to poison Elisa to get them to come here when you've just got a gun that could do whatever? Like, just go find them and shoot them.
Leave me.
Never.
Okay.
The dawn will heal you. We can hold out until then.
You can run, but you can't hide. In fact, you can't even run.
Technically, they can hide. Just a question of whether you find them.
Well, what is wrong with me?
It is poison, made virulent by a magical spell. Unless a cure is administered, you will die by sunrise.
So it's young Magus.
If I had the Grimorum Arcanorum, the antidote is given only in its pages.
You caused this.
Ugh,
What?
this kid.
She doesn't understand.
No, she's right. I failed you.
Whatever you command, we will do.
We must find the Archmage and retrieve the magic book. Time is on his side.
Goliath is going to be given the reins to the clan in this episode. He sounds so much younger, less bothered by the weight of leadership.
This game is feudal. You were too old to play it 1,000 years ago. I could just rake this room with the laser. There's no way you'd escape.
So do it.
Goliath's time is over. I am the leader now. Die hiding like the cowards you are.
It's like playing one of the Lego games where you just destroy everything in the room to get the coins.
Save yourself.
Gargoyles don't leave their warriors behind.
Gargoyles never say die.
I'm not a gargoyle.
We'll make it through this night yet, lad. Never fear. Remember the search for the Archmage.
So he's Cup from Transformers. He's just always got a good battle story to fit any situation.
He favors speed over stealth. That could mean he's expecting pursuit.
You're younger, stronger. He should be following you.
You are wrong, my love. He is the best one to lead us.
You know I can hear you.
Yeah, he's right here.
Our wings will be useless in here, and this Archmage has powerful magic.
I will not fail the prince again.
And I won't let him do this alone.
I don't know who's the bigger fool. Him for going, you for following, or me for not leaving you both.
Who's the bigger fool? The fool or the fool that follows him?
What do you suppose this all means?
Every reaction in this episode is so much bigger than in other episodes.
There! Fulminus Benite!
Save yourself.
Hear me, lad. We go together, or we don't go at all.
You go. We go.
I'll make it quick, old soldier. What?
What's that Harrison Ford movie?
The Fugitive.
And he's like, what does he say? I didn't do
I
it.
didn't kill my wife.
I know.
Tommy Lee Jones is like, I don't care.
I know, that's it. That's all I was thinking about.
Stay with me, lad. They've been in worse scrapes than this.
Remember that time? Oh, sorry. It's the same time I was thinking about it a few minutes ago, but...
Oh, that's how his eye gets injured? Just that? I thought it would be something a little more...
dramatic?
Yeah. His eye just like hit a rock.
So that's interesting. Why is Hudson like, oh, all he has to do is turn to stone and tomorrow he'll be all better and then we're going to come at you, when Hudson's eye didn't heal when he turned to stone? Why is he scarred up?
Don't talk. Save your strength.
You know, it might have been the magic that did that. I'm not clear. So I just know that like when he was struck with the lightning or the magical lightning, that he then hit the ground with his eye. So I don't know. I don't know what caused the injury, but it could be a magical injury, in which case it won't heal.
Stay here, lad. I'll be back for you. I can face her. I just can't beat her.
Not with that attitude.
Don't be a fool. Together we can rule this world.
As father and son. Why didn't she just shoot?
He surprised her, I guess.
He's literally attacking her with a melee weapon and she has a long range rifle. Like, just shoot him.
Enough of this. Time to die, old fool.
Now you will suffer.
Wait, what?
Now you suffer.
Oh, I heard something else.
I did hear what you heard.
Wow.
Demona. No.
Goliath, so good of you to join us.
Boy, didn't even take advantage of that distraction.
Your pride will cost you your life!
But I know something you don't.
I'm not left-handed.
Something that comes only with age. I know how to wait.
No!
Oh boy.
Why did her gun turn to stone?
Because she's holding it.
I thought it was just like, oh, no, because because Hudson was holding the sword a couple of episodes ago and it did not turn to stone, and it is very clearly his.
It is time for me to step down and for you to lead.
It was your skills that led us to the Archmage. I cannot take command now.
It's time, my friend.
But only if you stay by my side. I will need your wisdom to guide me.
Oh, but in 1,000 years, I'm going to be addicted to reality television. Don't listen to a thing I say.
Now it ends.
Yes, lass. Now it ends. Feeling all right, lad?
Just fine.
Your human friend. By now the poison has run its course. And there is no antidote.
It's probably best that she doesn't know Elisa is alive.
Aye. For as long as we can keep it a secret.
Wait, this better not end like this.
I mean, that's how it's going to end.
I thought my warrior days were over.
Nonsense. There are years of fighting left for you.
Now there's something to look forward to.
Oh, we should get home now.
What I would say about this episode is that you see some of Demona's behaviors back 1,000 years ago. And I would say there's some hints at consistent traits and characteristics.
Say more about that.
Well, you can start to see some things that, and maybe this is kind of in hindsight, right? But she makes some comments to Goliath about his readiness for leadership and how Hudson is, quote, too old for this.
Yes.
And the way that she says these comments, it's
right in front of Hudson. Well, I should say right behind Hudson.
right behind him. It's interesting. It has this ulterior motive, and it's Machiavellian. Like, you already start to see sides of her that are Machiavellian. This interest in power, or interest in aligning with power. This sort of strategic idea that her partner should be in power, should be the leader. And while in and of itself there's something wrong with that, the way in which she doesn't have empathy. So it's kind of those, Machiavellianism is multiple things. It's interest in power and low empathy. It's the combination of like little empathy and understanding and care for other people. So you have that callousness. That's not good. In combination with power seeking and narcissism, and even like some would say like a little bit of cruelty.
Yeah.
And when you add those things together, because power and empathy is such an amazing thing, you want. When I say power, I sort of mean like not just having power, but access to power, wanting to empower people. When we think about leadership, whether it's like the president of a company or government officials, the sense that when you have access to power and you're empathetic, how wonderful that combination is, because likely you will do things in ways that will serve more people than not. Whereas the other combination where you have power seeking and narcissism and low empathy and little interest and care for the majority of people, you're going to find a level of callousness and selfishness, and that's a bad combination for any kind of leader. So why I'm bringing this up is that, of course, we're seeing her in what's current day, modern day, in which she's persecuting and assaulting what used to be her friends, her partner, her romantic partner, and what used to be her own leader, like someone she considered trustworthy. And while I don't yet understand her motive, I'm curious to know if you do. While I don't understand her motive, what seems to be clear is from the jump, she was already trying to be in control, trying to seek agency and power in ways that concern me from, when they were youths, when they were coming up.
I don't disagree with you, but I will push back because I will say we actually have not seen the jump. We don't know. Presumably they are hundreds of years old already, and we don't know when she started to feel this way and when she was okay with Hudson as the leader, who was simply like, look, man, it's over. It's time to bring in the younger, newer guy. By the way, may I just point out that in that first episode, it was established that the only gargoyle that had a name at that time was Goliath. And I always presumed that's because he was the leader of the group. Why did Hudson not have a name? And why did Goliath have a name prior to Goliath becoming the leader of the group?
That's a good point. Because in the flashbacks, they weren't naming... Oh, Demona had a name. They did
not call her Demona in the flashback.
So they didn't have names.
And they didn't call him Hudson, obviously, because he hadn't seen the Hudson River. But
that would be funny.
But I don't understand why Goliath deserves a name, even as a young man. I use the term young man to mean basically a gargoyle kind of in his 20s, whatever, becoming the leader. But they said none of us had a name except for Goliath. So why did he get a name even before he became leader of the group?
Maybe there's an origin story there. What I did appreciate about this episode were the flashbacks. I actually would have really liked just a whole entire episode of a flashback.
It would have been better, I think. Because the story 1,000 years later isn't really important, and it was not going to move our characters forward because Elisa was not hit with the poison. There was no danger to her. Except now they have to play her off as a character who has dead.
Perished. So now we're trying to hold on to multiple things, right? We're going to hold on to the narrative that Elisa's not alive. We're going to hold on to the narrative that Goliath is still under a spell, where he's trying to act like he's not under the spell. It's the spell that you're not on a spell. And I still think about that.
I don't think anyone else does, though.
Okay.
So we're not really trying to hold on to that.
I'm holding on to that.
Because we just assume everything's okay. In the most Deus Ex Machina way.
Yeah.
Everything's okay.
It's the Superman flying around the world several times, right? To reverse it, to reverse all the actions.
To reverse time. Yes.
Yeah. One of the themes that I think about, because I think there are two main themes here. One, of course, is friendship and alliance, and the bond that Hudson and Goliath have is clearly, we would say, I guess, hundreds of years old, right? They have a very strong bond, and there's a sense of not giving up on one another and helping one another. And I thought that was really great. Like, no matter who cares who's the leader and who's not the leader and who's in charge, this sense that it's a warrior mentality, right, with gargoyles, I think, but it's also a mentality with a lot of us, and especially as soldiers. Like, you don't leave someone behind. You care for one another, you protect one another, and you try to do your best to end up alive with everybody, right? You don't want any casualties. And so I think when I think about their friendship, there's some origin to it. Like, this is the origin of their friendship.
And it's clearly evolved. It started as a mentorship, and over time, the two of them view each other as equals. And I don't think that Hudson still thinks of himself as the mentor to Goliath. I think basically the moment he handed over the reins to Goliath, he felt like Goliath was now ready to be leader. Yes, he still had knowledge to gain through Hudson's wisdom, but I think at this point, now in the late 1990s, Hudson has evolved from a mentor to more of just a dear friend and ally.
One of the other themes was leadership. And in psychology, there's different types of leadership models. And of course, in entrepreneurship, there's a ton of different paradigms and models around leadership. And there's a debate, what makes a good leader, what makes a successful team, and how does that leadership and team match well together.
Are you about to go into a sales pitch for like a pyramid scheme?
Not at all.
What makes you a good leader? Give me $100 and get 200 of your friends to do the same.
But in organizational psychology, there is a lot of research that goes into leadership and the effectiveness of leadership. And in my job too, I think about, not because I'm a manager, but also because I work with other managers and staff members, and we talk a lot about how we can be more effective communicators, leaders, innovators. We have a lot of initiatives that we're running. And so it's really important to think about how to comport yourself in a way that you not only will have a successful team, but that you will have long-term success. So whether you have a small team or a large team, the one model that I really like is actually quite simple. It determines your leadership based on your goals and based on the style that feels right to you. Okay. And interestingly, there's 3 different types, and we have 3 characters here that by chance kind of match this leadership style.
Types. Okay.
And you can almost think about this as leading from the front, leading from the back, or leading from the side. But there are terms for this. Like visionary leadership is, what would you say? Which of those 3? Leading from the front.
From the front.
So visionary leadership are leaders that hold the example, right? Like they lead from the front, and they are the model for how to innovate, how to behave, how to get things done, how to achieve goals, things like that. So the best people in these roles already have some sense, some agency and sense of power. Like you have to have access to power to do this. But they're perceived as effective. They're perceived as powerful and strong. They can be dominant. So that is one of the things that you have to be careful with, is that they can exceed that level of power or even leverage too much power. So there's some risks there.
So they can steamroll you.
They can, and I think, sometimes their teams can feel unsafe if they say something different than the plan, or they misalign with what the leader in the front wants to do, because that's the person who's leading. So who would you say is, of the 3, having more dominance? Some people may feel less safe with this style.
I mean, I think you're leading me down the path to Demona.
Yeah, Demona. And in fact, there's a subtype of authoritarian leadership, and she's more that. Like, hey, it's either my way or the highway. So the other type of leadership is leading from the back, and this is servant leadership. So these are types of leaders that really want to support and grow and develop their teams. And so they're very people-centric. They think about individual needs and have perspectives where they might be able to adjust their leadership based on, because, I know this is more of a symbolic thing, but when you're leading from the back, you can see where people are doing well, where people are struggling, who needs more assistance, who's more autonomous. So it gives you kind of that really helpful perspective. They're very needs driven, so they think about the needs of their staff. And the problem, though, with leading from the back is they can be seen as
weak.
They can be seen as
hesitant.
As what?
Hesitant,
yeah, like
not willing to jump in,
not as supportive, and less of a visionary. Like some people really want a little bit more advisement and a little bit more direction and instruction. And then, of course, leading from the side is where the type of leader is kind of like with you in the trenches, like Brene Brown. Well, look, let me just say, I'm not a huge fan or supporter of Brene Brown, but something that I do appreciate from Brene Brown is that concept of being in the arena with your team and your staff. So like whatever I have my staff do or ask my staff to do, I'm also doing it, not just in the beginning when we're forming skills, but throughout. So I have no qualms and no ego there. I also am going to be in the arena where the action's happening. Does that arena idea make sense?
Yes.
Like you're not like on the sidelines or just observing. So that's kind of the leading from the side mentality. You're very hands-on. Some of the risks though with this is that sometimes it's like it can be unclear what the goals are. Again, some people want more instruction, some people want more direction. So I would say fewer risks here than with the other two.
So in this scenario, who is leading from behind? Who is the
I would actually say Hudson is because leading from behind.
Yeah, like who is the second version leader? Because I feel like Goliath and Hudson were both in both time periods were the type to go. Like, I mean, Hudson did it. He was like, oh, my prince has been wounded and could die within 24 hours if I don't get the Archmage. And he was like, I'm going. And Goliath and Demona went with him. And in this situation, in present day, Goliath took the lead and said, I'm going. But
I think I would be with them. I'm almost seeing this as a little less literal, even though that's the framing that we're using is like side and back.
So they only loosely, because I don't see any of them as being a back leader.
I do actually. I actually think that Goliath is more of a side leader, even though he's giving instruction.
I thought you were going to say that Hudson was the side leader who. But okay, okay, yeah. Go ahead.
In the sense of, I'm the side leader being the collaborator, where Goliath is delegating and sharing tasks and ensuring that everyone is in the mix, but also he's going to do these things too. Now, he does tend to take the more dangerous parts of the mission and put himself in the line of fire a little bit more, but he's still
just push other people aside and run out and fly.
True.
I do see Goliath as, and I think maybe that this is important because what separates Goliath and Demona in terms of their philosophies? I would say that they are both visionary leaders, and that might be the crux of the problem, right?
They're butting heads because they have different goals in mind. And I think I also just one flaw with Demona that I have is, well, what the heck is her plan? Like, what are we doing? She keeps saying, I'll destroy you or you can join me. Join you for what? Like, tell me what I'm joining you for. Yeah. Maybe you can convince me. Is this a Magneto thing? Are we saying gargoyles are superior to humans and this is why?
Yes, this has been her position from episode 1.
But let me hear your thesis. Like, tell me more about that. And why is it important for us to team up and ensure that we can protect ourselves from said humans? I'm in the sort of open-minded place where I would really want to know more about Damona's motivation and her reasoning and what she sees in the future that we're not seeing, especially because now I'm seeing that in the past, she already was starting to feel a sense of urgency around needing that empowerment and needing to side and align with the person who has the most power.
Yeah. Well, and Damona has always, at least for as long as we have been observing her. So like I said, we don't know how she was prior to this, but we do know that it's interesting. We just saw her basically betray an elder gargoyle, right? By talking behind his back. Oh, he's old. He's crazy. He's senile. He's not fit to lead any further. You should be the leader, Goliath. And we have seen her turn on the humans that they were
right,
sort of servicing as protection for the castle. The moment that they were betrayed, she's like, oh, no. And by betrayal, I don't even mean the chief of security who decided that he was going to team up with the random attacker. I'm talking about the fact that the moment that the princess and others decided that they hated the gargoyles, she was like, we're stronger, we're faster, we can do more than they can, we are superior in every way. She was Magneto. We discussed that. She has decided we should be in charge of this relationship, not the humans. And that kind of now seems to be her go-to personality trait, is challenging the leadership or the authority of anyone she doesn't agree with.
Right. Well, that's very narrow-minded, right? Because she hasn't had discourse with the other gargoyles on like why they think differently than she does. And do they
the closest thing is probably episode 1 where she tries to plead the case like Goliath. Come on, we should turn against them.
Right. Well, and she is particularly assaultive towards Elisa, who is their ally. Like, she's the last person you want to attack.
But she reminds her so much of the princess who has hated them.
Oh, you think there's like some transference there?
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
Yes, I think she sees her as another young woman who will just never understand them no matter how hard she tries. And because she was already wronged so harshly, because remember in the first episode, they try to go into the banquet where they're basically being thanked for helping defend the castle. And the princess is like, oh, no, they can't come in here. We don't serve their kind. But
with a Scottish accent.
We don't serve their kind. And so, Damona then is just like, all right, we don't have to come to dinner with you. But now I'm realizing that she has hated them for a long time. But I'm also realizing that the princess has also hated them for a long time.
We're seeing her as a young kid, completely prejudiced against the gargoyle.
Evil eye every chance she gets.
So unnecessary. Her own parent is like, hey, calm down. It's fine. But now that you say that, Elisa is somehow becomes a little bit more interesting to me. She's always been an interesting character, what with her leaving her gun out all the time. But especially with what you said about her being a figure that reminds the gargoyles of the princess that kind of sparked the catalyst, the critical event, and this sense of prejudice. And I wonder if Goliath, who is fond of her, attracted to her, what's he working out with?
We don't know the attractive part.
He is.
We don't know that.
He is definitely. There's at least one episode. You remember the one in the park where she's helping him?
Oh yeah, but he was also stoned that entire. Like he was not expressing feelings for her.
Oh, he was stoned for sure.
That is how we are as the audience are placing. That we're projecting, we're shipping them.
I think we know. Yeah, I mean,
but
we're
the
shipping
writers
them,
have not put them in a. they have certainly put a deep friendship there. He cares for her deeply.
You know what? Let me just stick with that then. If he cares for her deeply and she has she is a figure that carries some characteristics and has a dynamic with him that can allow him to work through what his, quote, hang-ups are with humans. His trauma, his lack of trust, his rigidity, his belief that he's going to be betrayed, his sense of vulnerability, whatever these things are psychologically that he's going through. I find it really fascinating that you're actually, I think you're right that Demona is targeting her because she brings out, you know, again, in psychology, we would say it's transference, or it's this sense of being an object that holds certain emotional cadence for people, that he too would then kind of latch on to that relational dynamic. And with him, I'm looking for, rather than hating, like displacing this and hating Lisa, that he would actually work through caring for her and how that's an important moment for him.
Sure. And I find myself wondering if Demona hates her so much because she is a good one so far. You know,
Wait, what?
So I feel like Demona hates Elisa because she is not someone who has betrayed him. I feel like Demona would be like, of course, look at her. She's human. They're all going to betray us, if Elisa had ever been showing signs of that or whatever. I think it's because Elisa has not shown signs of wanting to betray the Gargoyles that Demona hates her even more, dislikes her, because so far she is proving to be the exception to Demona's rule. Whereas if she had just been like all the others, I think Demona would still dislike her, but probably not to the degree that she does right now.
Oh, I see. That she is disrupting Demona's
narrative about humans.
Her construct, we would say, of what humans are like, and that really bothers Demona, and she's trying to break that. She's really trying to catch her in the lie, or she's trying to break that narrative.
And if she can't, she might as well sacrifice her, like she tried to do this in this episode, in order to.
She can't adjust, right? If she can't adjust or accommodate to the idea that someone is good, that a human being is good and caring, she has to destroy her to keep hold of her narrative.
Yeah.
Lots of psychology in the Gargoyles. For those of you, not that anyone doubted it. Everyone told us to watch this show.
Everyone told us to watch it, and I'm glad that they did. I am enjoying the show thoroughly, even if it's not something that we pick up on immediately going forward after these first 13 episodes. I definitely see myself going back and watching a lot more of these, especially since we have been told time and time again that the real meat on the bones come in season 2. So I'm excited about seeing season 2, and I'm excited about learning about Matt. I'm excited about learning about
bring Matt
Macbeth.
back. We had 0 screen time.
Well, we only had like 20 seconds with Elisa, and she was basically just fridged. Like, it was, all she was a trigger for the Gargoyles to all have a reunion.
So she's got to move out of her apartment because she's presumed to be dead. She should just move in with Matt.
But hold on. Elisa has not been consulted about this plan. The two male gargoyles were like, oh, it's a good thing she thinks she's dead. We should make sure she continues to think she's dead. Now, let's be clear. Elisa could still go to work because during the day, all the gargoyles are stone. So it's not like Demona will know that Elisa is going to her job. But now Elisa can't leave every night, like can't go anywhere at night.
No, she can't. She's got to stay. She's got to sleep over at Matt's house.
And Matt's going to be like, why? And she's got to come up with some other reason because Matt supposedly thinks that the robot gargoyles are what he saw, even though he was like, that is not what I saw. I know what I saw, and I will find the real gargoyles if it's the last thing I do, and it might be. Now, she can't live over at his place. It's got to be somewhere. It would have to be in the clock tower. Like, you would have to move her in, and then that is
maybe
where
that's what sparks the romance.
Sexy times between her and Goliath start. Yeah, how long is that going to play out? I feel like they're setting us up for a big story that now... This is sort of like Lethal Weapon to some degree, where he is shot through the window of a lingerie store with a shotgun one night, and then they believe that Riggs is dead, but really he's hundreds of yards away with a rifle. You know, they're using it to their advantage. How is Elisa's death here going to be an advantage?
We shall see.
What does she bring to this table? I do think that she has been victimized a lot in this season, though.
For sure.
All things considered.
Absolutely. In the beginning of the season, she had a lot of agency and decision making. And
all she does now is deliver things to them.
Yeah, she's been kind of written out, and she's in service to Goliath's story and Damona's story. So I hope to see more. I really want to see more of Elisa. And what I'll say is, like, I very much enjoy the flashbacks. Would love more of that.
More of that.
Would also, I know this is contradictory, but would also like to see more of Elisa. And in a way, I think I want to see less of the other gargoyles. We're getting these, maybe that's what they want us to know, is like piece by piece, episode by episode, here are kind of the side stories to get to know the other gargoyles other than Goliath. And in this episode, we really got to understand the level of empathy, camaraderie, and compassion that Hudson has. And I think that's good, because up till now, we've seen him be a good member of the team, but he's sort of relegated to just watching TV with the dog.
Well, he's retired.
Yeah.
Let him have his retirement. Drea, why don't you tell the good folks online where they can find you?
You can find me on my website, drdreapsychology.com, or on socials at Dr. Drea Psychology.
You can find me on Instagram. I am at B_Ward028. You can find us both on Instagram at the Arkham Sessions. Email us, arkhamsessions@gmail.com. Come join us on Facebook. And then please join our family over at Fanbase Press. You would love their news articles, their podcasts, their comics. They are absolutely fantastic and really good people. So you're going to want to know them. I want to thank some other fantastic good people. They are some of the patrons that have made this episode and all of our episodes possible. Starting with C, Mike Ficklin, Lindsay B, and Jamiroquai. Thank you so much for your donation. It really does help us. For $5, join our Patreon, and you can have your name called out in the next episode of the show. Or if you want to vote on what we're going to cover next, just come join. And the $3 tier will give you that opportunity. You alone will decide what we cover going forward. And by alone, I mean anyone else who donated $3 or more. But
also, if you want to join our Discord, it's absolutely free. You can go to the Arkham Sessions Instagram, and you'll find the link in the bio.
Yep. This has been fantastic. I'm really looking forward to the next episode. Oh, speaking of polls, we've still got a poll going up where you can determine who out of 4 characters is the most psychologically deep and rich character of Gargoyles Season 1. Of those 4, we have Goliath, Damona, who is starting to surge, I think, in my own personal view. We also have Xanatos and Elisa. Those 4 characters, if you come join the $3 tier, you can vote there. And we are happy to have that vote. The winner of that poll is going to get their own dedicated episode where we break down the psychology of that character. And that will be exclusive to our patrons. So you're going to want to stick around for that. Until next time, I'm Brian Ward.
I'm Dr. Drea Letamendi.
And together we are
the Arkham Sessions.